Hello everybody, welcome back to the Maverick channel, and here we talk about trends in the cryptocurrency space. And today we're going to talk about one of my favorite projects in this space, and I haven't talked about them in a while, and that's Fetch.ai. So there's a lot of updates in this ecosystem, the Fetch.AI ecosystem. There's a lot going on, and I've managed to pull out some of the few things. I might have missed out some, but I pulled out some things that you might find exciting. So stay tuned for the whole video. So straight away jumping into it, Fetch has had a lot of things happening for them in the past couple of months. As we move into 2022, they've had a lot of roadmaps. In the past, they've had some significant partnerships like with Festo, Bosch Global. They've had other partnerships like IOTA, Ocean Protocol. These are data-focused organizations, or organizations that are trying to innovate the manufacturing space or the money transfer space or the data transfer analysis space. So those that do not know Fetch.ai, it's an AI machine learning focused blockchain company that's building these things called digital twins, or formerly called autonomous economic agents, and they're like data modules. So they're kind of separating those two chunks, but they're still operating within the system, and they can do a whole bunch of things like Oracle data, moving data around, or even acting as they can serve so many functions, because at the core they communicate and negotiate with one another, and they can do that in clusters. So they kind of aiming for that. That's the core functionality. Now, as the first thing we want to look at, as you can see on the screen, Binance, which is the company where Fetch.ai was launched from their Binance launchpad about 3 years ago. They've been building ever since. They're leveraging, by the way, the Tendermint consensus algorithm, which enables them, and they enabled on the inter-blockchain communication protocol of Cosmos. So with all that being said, they're setting themselves out for an interoperability standard, which everyone is talking about and in dire need right now in the crypto space. So the first thing that you see, Binance US, within that United States regulatory framework, has actually listed Fetch.ai, which means it's officially available to United States residents. However much the United States regulation might be undesirable sometimes, this is obviously extremely bullish news, because not everyone has the opportunity to have this. And of course, officially, Binance, of course, has written about this on their support.binance.us. They've actually written about this, that deposits are now open on the Binance ecosystem. Now, what's interesting, guys, you all know there's the consensus. Well, this is another tweet from Fetch. Is now they tweeted again. This was retweeted by Fetch.ai. Fetch listed on Binance, on the Binance.us exchange, which is a centralized exchange run by the Binance ecosystem. So some nice graphics that you can see over there. Now, what's interesting is right now there's a consensus event happening in Texas, coincidentally. So Humayun Sheikh, who's the CEO of Fetch.ai, Jonathan Ward, another genius CTO of Fetch.ai, they're together representing Fetch.ai, and you can see super excited to announce that Fetch.ai will be at the Consensus2022 June 9th to 12th. So they're there right now, guys. So pretty cool stuff. That's why I wanted to give this quick update about what is going on. And of course, those that are there, well, I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you update us and the Fed team. Good luck. So of course, the other updates, you can see Humayun Sheikh really excited to show Consensus2022 what we've been working on Fetch.ai, and the promise that they have a lot going on. You can see I'm excited. I commented as well. We're rooting for you, Humayun. The grind is real. Do share some glimpse on the community. That was another tweet or reply by Ken Kaneki, one of the spokespeople of Fetch.ai. And of course, this was a previous article they posted about this. Consensus, one of the biggest events in the crypto space, so expect a lot of regulators, a lot of crypto focused companies, and all this is happening in Texas. So obviously there's a tremendous amount of capital there, and interest and flow, and whatever you want to call it. So the 2022 event Consensus, a must-attend conference, is coming up soon. So it's happening right now. It's already started. Fetch.ai's Ecosystem Development Workshop is featured as one of the must-attend workshops. And they had an article where they showed that. I thought I actually pulled it out there. But if you click this, then it leads you to a blog post which is showing this, which is pretty interesting. And then other updates. Planning your life doesn't need to be complicated. Fetch.ai saves your time and money so you can do more. So the other partnerships they're teasing with this, and they're going to showcase this in Austin, Texas, starting with the demo at Consensus. So at Consensus, they're going to be displaying some stuff like this, as you can see on the screen. Do what matters to you. So the whole point of these digital twins or agents is to simplify your life so they can negotiate and make these transactions. Maybe your toaster needs repairs, they'll communicate with the repair person company and they negotiate the price, the damage. So of course, the idea is that as machine learning proceeds, you have these smart contracts that are actually smart, that can keep learning these algorithms or learning from their environment or their experiences, and through this they're able to make smart decisions, educated decisions on behalf of their owners. Now, Atari Baskill, I've had an interview, he's been on my show. He's a very good spokesperson of the Fetch.AI ecosystem, and he knows how to break down the technical stuff and also the simple stuff. He knows how to simplify everything. So in simple terms, Doubleflow is going to do for file sharing what VPNs do for your internet, except users who run proxies will be awarded for doing so. In about a month, users will have this decentralized application at their fingertips, and I couldn't be more excited. So collective learning is one of the other topics that I'm extremely excited about that they're doing, where you can share machine learning data and algorithms and models. Especially, we are working on releasing Doubleflow, the first of its kind in file sharing platforms, with a new protocol to manage data. Guys, this is pretty awesome. Not to mention, these guys have another applications like BotSwap that can essentially save you from things like rug pulls. So far it's listed on Uniswap, Binance Smart Chain, and obviously I know it will be coming to the Fetch mainnet soon. This is also built by the Fetch team. That's pretty cool. Guys, big announcements. Accumulate, there's other companies out there. Accumulate and Fetch.ai represent how autonomous economic agents, so those are the digital twins they're referring to these days, and Accumulate digital identifiers. So of course, guys, you know, self-sovereign identity is extremely important, which means users being in control of their identity. So Fetch.ai has been focused on that, and some of their other products that are built by external companies like Mobix, which is Move to Earn, they also focused on protecting the user's data, or rather the user being in absolute control of their data. And having agents, it helps you manage that data, which is pretty cool. So they're partnering with some of these companies, and they can work together on data organization, provenance, and execution. It's taking place on June 11th at 12 p.m. during the Consensus event. There you go. So they're showcasing some of these real world use case products on such an event where there's going to be so many eyes and attention. So that's pretty amazing. So Fetch.ai AEAs, they continue to talk about this, they tweeted about this, and this is the website of this company. And actually, if you go to the actual Twitter page of this company, they have 166,000 followers. So it's not just some random company that Fetch.ai partnered with, just like other companies that they partnered with in the past. Some kind of partnerships like Festo, Bosch Global, multi-billion-dollar companies, and others like we're going to look at, like Fireblocks and so on. So this is the website of that other company. Terminate officially joined the Fetch.ai network as a validator, providing professional-grade tokens, delegation, and node validation services to the network and helping it scale and grow the network. So, of course, we have other quality validators that are performing on the Fetch.ai ecosystem, which means they're increasing the security and they're also increasing the validity of that blockchain. The blocks are ticking, they're ticking, and every time they tick, the history of this blockchain continues to be rather more solidified. Okay, and the reputation as well. So status update from Austin, Texas. They've just posted this. Actually, Fetch.ai team is there, team building activities, the merchandise, which of course they showcase in some way, shape, or form, and the Fetch.ai network ecosystem workshop kickoff at 10:30 CDT. So we're excited to share updates on the Fetch.ai ecosystem. This is what's happening in Texas right now, guys. Very cool. Now, Fireblocks, one of the biggest institutional custodian ecosystems out there. Centralized custodians, they've always been in support of the Fetch tokens and they've always listed them. I don't know what's happening right now. I think that's still going on because I mean Fetch.ai has only grown ever since that time. Ever since it started, it's only grown bigger and more resilient over time and more meaningful as they continue to develop. So Fireblocks is one of their custodians, a very big custody company based somewhere in Europe, or I'm not too sure, but yes, they've always supported them. They've had other partnerships like ZoidPay partners with Fetch.ai, shopping anything from anywhere using the Fed tokens. So using such platforms, you can actually shop for these Fed tokens. You can use these Fed tokens as a currency to buy products. So more use cases for the tokens, more use cases for the Fed blockchain, more use cases for some of the services they're presenting. All these kinds of use cases are what we refer to as network effect. How many people, how many companies, how much can you do for different communities? And normally that value reflects back into what you're doing, because that's what we normally see with life. We have other partnerships, like we're happy to announce, well, they've talked about something like this. For example, Simplehold, I've just seen this. We're happy to announce that FET is now available in Simplehold. So there's a wallet apparently known as Simplehold. Fetch.ai is an artificial intelligence AI lab building an open source permissionless decentralized machine learning network with a crypto economy. Store FET in Simplehold. So you can click on this, you can store the FET tokens. So more wallets are custodians of the FET ecosystems. Guys, just so you look at Bitcoin, if you want to have liquidity, you have to have Bitcoin on your exchange. If you want to have liquidity, you got to have Ethereum on your exchange, because those are the biggest platforms out there. So you got to have them. So you got to have the biggest blockchains or the top blockchains, because they have the most eyes on them, and if they're arranged in terms of market capitalization, of course, they have a lot of liquidity. One of the other companies, that is a separate company that's building a social media platform on Fetch.ai, is doing an Ask Me Anything. So Resonate.social, they're doing a mainnet launch, and they're giving away $5,000 in FET tokens during their Ask Me Anything. What is Resonate Social? What is unique about the platform? Features of Resonate.social, collaboration with Fetch.ai, airdrop distribution, roadmap of Resonate. So these guys are also going to create their own tokens, the Rezo tokens. And I think one time I saw that the first 100,000 users will be part of this airdrop. So guys, download the Fetch wallet, or download the Kepler wallet, use the FET handle, and log into this. Doesn't cost you anything, and it's also a way to learn about how this Web3 ecosystem works. Now, sort of trying to finalize this is some of the Azoya Labs DeFi solutions for Web3. You can now vote on Fetch.ai, so which means you have other companies specifically creating an infrastructure where you can vote on fundamental issues on the Fetch.ai blockchain, because it's a proof of stake blockchain. So you can vote on these issues, and whatever majority vote for, it's a kind of a democratic system that's implemented if it's a good enough proposal. So Azoya Labs is one of the other ecosystems or companies that has chosen to do that on behalf of Fetch. So 5 more days before voting is closed. This is a reminder. This proposal is about adding patches to the Cosmosm and Tandem Mint, along with an upgrade to the most recent version of Cosmos SDK. And the Fetch.ai is reminding us, those that have the tokens, those that have the ability to do this, you can go and vote on their proposal, because some of these things are actually really important. And since these guys always push for decentralization, essentially, it's important to have these proposals be put out there. The community reads them, analyzes them, then votes on something that feels is good enough. But of course, upgrading onto Cosmosm, of course, is very good, because that's within the Cosmos ecosystem. Now, OmniFlix, one of the biggest decentralized exchanges, the new exchanges on the Cosmos ecosystem as well, because it's supporting a lot of new tokens that are brewing off this newfound, I guess, ecosystem for building new airdrops and tokens on Cosmos, because of their ability to enable things like interoperability and interchain communication. So OmniFlix ships more than what we need, building for the wider Cosmos ecosystem. Exactly. So using the Kepler wallet, which is the main wallet on the Cosmos network, or one of the most popular wallets, just like on Ethereum, it's the MetaMask wallet, which is the most popular one. So using Kepler to interact with Fetch.ai, participate in the governance by voting using OmniFlix in sync. So of course, when you click on these things, you're led to the actual web page, and it's a very easy thing. You just connect your wallet, and then you can directly vote on a proposal that you want to vote on. So you can see this proposal status, voting period, and most people, 99.97% of people have voted yes, and no one has voted zero. No with veto, 0 abstain. Some people just choose to abstain, but they want to be a part of these voting processes, because sometimes we've seen in the Cosmos ecosystem people getting airdrop tokens just for voting or just for staking. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it also shows that you're part of the ecosystem and you're participating, and the machine is moving. Fetch Station Azoya Labs, this was the partnership we looked at before, which is about Azoya Labs. This is what their interface looks like, and you can see they've actually not only shown Fetch, but they've also included Mobix, which is another ecosystem or blockchain, the move to earn, that we talked about, and I did a video about them yesterday. Very good video, you should watch that. They've also listed the Mobix here, and of course, if you're logged into here, it will display the amount of tokens that you have, your balance, and so on, and you can vote. You can click on governance. You can also use this platform to vote on some proposals out there, and you can also view smart contracts. You type in the address and you can see what's happening in the smart contract. So it's an easy way to review smart contracts, so that you try to eliminate your chances of being scammed in case you're dealing with a new project that you don't know about. So you can use that as a way to look at the back end of the smart contracts. Citadel, one of the other legitimate, or I guess big validators out there, that has been building frivolously in the Cosmos ecosystem non-stop. They've been building. Obviously they support Fetch.ai as well, and there's so many other validators, reputable validators. This video is sort of to update on what's happening in this space. Catena X, a group that Fetch.ai formed to sort of manage data across Europe and I guess expanding. We're proud to be a part of the Catena X and together develop the future of mobility. So through this collaboration, Fetch.ai brings expertise and tools for trusted AI collaboration, advanced cryptography to the Catena X network. Pretty bullish stuff. And you can see, of course, there was an event. Catena X is on stage and in the bright spotlight with a big crowd. As the first open collaborative data ecosystem, it is stirring up a lot of excitement in the world of manufacturing. Data exchange is the mission, and Fetch.ai is part of building towards that vision. That's pretty cool. That's one of the reasons why I'm into this ecosystem, the Fetch ecosystem. So Team Fetch.ai meeting our Festo Global. This was an event that happened in the past where Maria Minarikova, I think the spokesperson of Fetch.ai, to discuss innovation, blockchain, and AI use cases and collaboration at the Hannover Messe. This was a Hannover Mess or something like that. This was a very good event. Of course, Maria Minarikova always doing an amazing job. So, and lastly, of course, there's this thing that Twitter does where you can hold Twitter Spaces. Now, if you want to catch up on some of the developments of collective learning, what it means, I think that will be one of the most important products as far as institutional adoption and as far as use cases is concerned, and as far as actually bringing real help towards institutions, hospitals, data analytics, all kinds of companies trying to understand this data thing, and also individuals. So if you missed the Twitter Spaces thing, essentially these guys did a Twitter Spaces thing where they talked about those things. So the collective learning infrastructure that allows you to do that. So Twitter does this Twitter Spaces thing where different people can meet up and discuss topics, well, as the community listens. So they did a discussion. If you missed out on our latest Twitter Spaces session, catch up now. Topics covered were Fetch network updates, Fetch at the Messe, what do we call it? The Hannover Messe. So they talked about that here. Living Planet Symposium. So the double flow, which we looked at first, which is going to which is an application for data sharing, the first of its kind file sharing platform protocol to manage data, is coming soon. So obviously when you listen to this, you'll be able to catch up on one of what these people discussed. And this discussion had a Fetch facilitator, Emma Smith, who's essentially in charge of the machine learning, collective learning infrastructure, and then the host was Atari Buskill, who's another amazing person talking about Fetch. So guys, this was a quick update on what's happening in the Fetch.ai ecosystem. Of course, you can go to Telegram and Twitter to find out more about them, but I just find this ecosystem extremely exciting for me, and I just like talking about them because I like to see some of these companies building, and I like to see their process as they grow. And in the process, regardless of what happens in the end, at least I learned a lot. And through some of these companies that I talk about, I end up learning a lot about other ecosystems in this space. All right, guys, I hope you learned something in this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.